Chapter 2, The Search for Answers. The dreary morning sun had barely risen, casting an ashen hue upon the world outside. Yet, John found little solace in the break of day, for the grim specter of his nightmares had left him in a state of unrest. His mind swirled with a cacophony of thoughts, each more unsettling than the last, as he contemplated the horrors that had befallen him in his sleep. Determined to unravel the enigma that had ensnared his very being, he resolved to seek the counsel of the wise and the learned. For he knew that his dreams were no mere figments of his imagination, but rather a sinister force that threatened to consume his sanity, and with it, his very soul. His journey began at the local library, a venerable institution filled with the dusty tomes and ancient scrolls that bore witness to the collective wisdom of mankind. There, he immersed himself in the writings of scholars long deceased, seeking solace in the comforting embrace of their words. He scoured the pages of countless volumes, each one promising to shed light on the mysteries of the human mind, yet offering little more than fleeting glimpses of the truth he so desperately sought. As his search continued, John's path took him to the far corners of the earth, where the secrets of the ancient still lingered like echoes in the wind. He ventured into the crypts of forgotten civilizations, the catacombs of long-lost empires, and the remnants of temples dedicated to deities long since abandoned by their followers. In these desolate places, he found solace in the darkness, as if the shadows themselves were whispering the answers he sought. Yet, as he delved deeper into the realms of the occult, his sanity began to fray at the edges. The horrors he had witnessed in his dreams seemed to haunt him even in his waking hours, casting their pall over the world of the living. The faces of the damned, the tortured souls that had once tormented him in his sleep, now stared back at him from the ancient frescoes and crumbling statues that lined the halls of these forsaken places. It was in the depths of one such temple that John first encountered the enigmatic figure of the dream weaver. He was a man, or so it seemed, shrouded in mystery, his face obscured by the tattered folds of a dark, hooded cloak. His voice, a low, guttural whisper that seemed to emanate from the very shadows themselves, spoke of a hidden realm that lay at the edge of human understanding, a world where the borders between the living and the dead, the real and the imagined, were nothing more than gossamer threads waiting to be unraveled. Intrigued by the dream weaver's cryptic words, John sought to learn more about this enigmatic figure and the world he spoke of. He immersed himself in the study of esoteric texts and arcane rituals, hoping to discover the secrets that had been hidden from the eyes of mankind for centuries. As he delved deeper into the mysteries of the unknown, he found that the line between the world of the living and the realm of nightmares had all but vanished, leaving him teetering on the brink of madness. Yet, even as his sanity crumbled around him, John clung to the belief that the answers he sought lay within his grasp. He was convinced that the key to unlocking the secrets of his nightmares, and in turn, his own salvation, could be found in the shadowy world of the dream weaver. And so, with a steely resolve that belied the terror gnawing at his soul, he pressed on, determined to confront the darkness that had consumed him and reclaim his life from the clutches of his own nightmares. His journey led him to a remote village, nestled in the shadow of an ancient, weathered mountain. The villagers spoke in hushed whispers of a hidden cavern, a place where the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead was at its thinnest, and where the dream weaver was said to hold court amidst the shadows. With each step he took towards this fabled place, John could feel the oppressive weight of his nightmares bearing down upon him, their cold, clammy fingers clawing at the tattered remnants of his sanity. Yet, he pressed on, undeterred by the darkness that threatened to engulf him, for he knew that the answers he sought lay within the heart of the mountain, waiting to be discovered. As he ventured deep into the cavern, the very air around him seemed to thicken with an otherworldly energy that sent shivers down his spine. The walls of the cave were adorned with ancient symbols and cryptic runes, their meanings obscured by the passage of time, yet somehow imbued with a power that defied explanation. As he descended further into the abyss, the darkness seemed to pulse with a malevolent force, a force that beckoned him ever deeper into the heart of the mountain. Finally, he stood before a great chasm, the yawning maw of the abyss seemingly endless in its depths. It was here, in this unholy place, that John would confront the dream weaver and unlock the secrets that had eluded him for so long. As he prepared to step into the darkness, he could feel the boundaries between the worlds of the living and the dead begin to fray, the thin veil that separated them dissolving into the void. Summoning the last of his strength, John stepped forward, and as he did so, the shadows of the chasm seemed to come alive, coalescing into the enigmatic figure of the dream weaver. His voice, a sinister whisper that echoed through the depths of the cavern, filled John's mind with images of nightmares and despair, and yet, he stood firm, determined to face the darkness and uncover the truth that had tormented him for so long. As he stared into the eyes of the dream weaver, the world around him seemed to dissolve into a swirling vortex of shadows and nightmares, the line between reality and fantasy all but erased. It was in this realm of darkness and despair that John would finally confront the demons that had haunted him, and in doing so, begin to unravel the tangled web of his own destiny.